Hey guys. So I hope everyone is doing well today. I am here by myself today because my sis, I've last couple of days kind of put it off for various reasons and we were going to do it today together. And she just couldn't make it on short notice. And I didn't want to get even caught further behind. So just figured I would do it myself. And, in case anybody shows up with me today. So today we're going to be talking about Mercury and the planet Mercury and the planet Venus and what that means in your chart. So let me pull this up. And we might be able to get away with it being much shorter too, because not all the chit chatting. All right, so Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. You see the little symbol right up here in the corner. That's what it looks like on your astrological chart. It symbolizes the ways in which we think, speak, process, and even reason. Mercury was also known as Hermes in Greek mythology, the winged messenger. He was known as the swiftest of all the gods. He carried a caduceus in his hand, which is a staff that has two snakes that are wrapped around each other, intermingled, creating, on a staff, creating this power of knowledge. That's what the symbol represented. So Mercury is strongly associated with the air element of intellect. It governs the mind, speech, and language. Those who are strongly influenced by Mercury are wonderful communicators, students, teachers, and could even be wonderful public speakers. They could be writers. Pretty much anything that you think of that has to do with communication and thought processes. They could be great researchers, anyone that's relaying any kind of information and or public speakers. Mercury rules between the ages of 7 and 13, which is said to be a pivotal time in the child's life for learning. This is the stage of learning to read and write and learn about how the world works. When Mercury is not working properly, this can show in ways of learning disabilities and social communication problems. Mercury rules the central nervous system, which is like our body's switchboard or control room. So for instance, if you think of like all the circuitry, like a computer, like a motherboard, Mercury is like that. It controls. That's why it controls like all the functions and stuff like that in your body. So when you hear like Mercury retrograde, that's why you think of like communication devices or, stuff like that not working or malfunctioning like that. It also controls our respiratory system, which includes like the nose, the windpipes, the bronchi, and the lungs. So when skillfully expressed, you can be very communicative, clever, rational, and intelligent. When unskillfully expressed, you can be over intellectual, restless, over talkative, and cunning. So my Mercury, well, here's a couple of things off to the left. Just a reminder of what the symbol looks like. It is the messenger. Mercury is known as the messenger. It is the closest to the sun. So you've got Mercury, Venus, Earth, moving out. And that's how I'm going to be doing all these, is moving out. So we did already the sun and the moon. Now we're doing Mercury and Venus today. Then we'll do Mars and Jupiter next week. And on and on and on. So it is, if you think about it, it is the I think. If you think about it, right? That's funny. So my capacity to think, speak, learn, and reason. Now, it is roughly 15 to 60 days in a sign, and it's never more than 2 signs away from the sun. Mercury rules messages in the body via the central nervous system. So if you want to know how that works in your body, let me do something really quick. Well, we'll look at this first. It says my Mercury is in the sign of, and mine happens to be in the sign of, let me find it here really quick. Mine happens to be in the sign of, and you know what? Let me just remove this really quick And let me pull up. Let me stop screen. Let me pull up mine so that you can see it. Let me share screen. There we go. This is my true sky or real sky or true sidereal chart. And you see over here, this is the Mercury symbol that was on your worksheet, which I did send the worksheets out to you guys. But this is the little symbol. So that's where you would find it in your chart. And then you see up around here, these are your houses. These signify your houses. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Mercury is in my 6th house. And this is the sign of Sagittarius. So when it says my Mercury is in the sign of, it would be Sagittarius. These worksheets help you like kind of figure out some of the things, which represents how I learn, process, and communicate. I can best communicate and learn by, and then you go back to the sheets that we had on the different astrological signs, zodiac signs, and we're going to find mine, which is Sagittarius. You would go back and find yours. Just give me a second. Let me find you. Here we go. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter and corresponds to the 9th house. They are known to be wise, sage-like, understanding, aspiring, metaphysical, ethical, visionary, religious, truth-seeking, hopeful, open-minded, jovial, expansive, generous, benevolent, merciful, exploring. You get the idea. They're adventurous. So I can best communicate and learn by being some of these things that I just mentioned, like being visionary, by being ethical, by being a truth seeker, hopeful. That's part of how I process and communicate. And then when skillfully expressed, I learn and communicate with. So I would take some of those good sign qualities. So I learn with wise and understanding, or truthful and frank are a couple other ones. And then when it says when unskillfully expressed, I may learn and communicate with, and you fill in a couple of the bad traits for that, the more negative traits for that, which would be pompous or flighty, which, yeah, I'm squirrely mind all the time. Ungrounded, opinionated, yep. Tactless, false prophet, extravagant, wanderlust, scattered, and irresponsible. Well, depends on which day you catch me. Just saying. No, I'm just joking. Hopefully most of those do not, depict me, but, you never know, right? So now the Mercury element, because my Mercury is in Sagittarius, which Sagittarius is a fire sign. So you look down below. So how I process thoughts and communicate is inspired, passionate, and independent. So I need to be, if I'm like excited about something or passionate about something, and I like it to be my idea. I don't like it if it's somebody else telling me. I like to kind of like take the lead on that, right? So that fits me. So then we look at the house that it's in. So my Mercury is in my 6th house. So my Mercury is in my 6th house of, and the 6th house is, and let's find those back in the worksheets. And I know it is health, hygiene, healing, chores, struggles, illness, and enemies. The 6th house is where you keep the side of you that decides how you like things to go along over the course of the day. It's like the house of routines, the planning side of me, which is so friggin' true. I'm really bad at not being able to plan ahead of time. I don't like surprises. And I've always said this, but I didn't know that until I started doing astrology, that it was right in my friggin' astrology. It's amazing. Because this is a house of schedules and planning, it refers to the nature of your work, your environment, and how you take care of your health. It's how you function. Your pets and stuff like that can also traditionally be in your sixth house because it's something that you routinely do by taking care of them. So that is how I can learn and communicate my best when expressed in this area of my life, which is like in my health areas. So healing and chores, regular day chores, planning, stuff like that, which makes perfect sense to me. So now let's remove that, and we're going to go on to the, let me stop that part. And now let me find it. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. Let me do this again. So this time we are going to bring up Venus. This is going to go by fast, I think. So Venus in astrology, Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. It symbolizes the capacity to attract the people and things that we love and value. Venus represents the feminine nature, divine goddess energy. She is the spark or muse of divine magnetic desire to ignite creativity. She is also known as Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty in Greek mythology. She was also known in her earliest origins to be worshipped as the mother or like nature goddess, could also be like Gaia, Mother Earth, or perhaps Mother Nature herself, She is said to cultivate beauty, harmony, and grace through the arts and in our social graces. She is the bringer of elegance and visual stimulation. The artists and musicians of the zodiac are said to fall under her patronage. When Venus is too overly exaggerated in your chart, it is said to lead to perhaps like overindulgence, maybe laziness, just like laying around, always in the lap of luxury, not really wanting to be productive or do anything. If it's overly. So she also represents, she also represents what we draw to us. I didn't put the other part of that. Okay, well, anyways, she also represents what we draw to us, our magnetism of what we love and value. So in Taurus, she is our items that we value and sensual pleasures like money and a good life. So, having good food, having maybe good wine, maybe having nicer things like a tarot collection, those things that inspire us, that, like art, nice pieces of art that we have up on our wall and stuff like that. She inspires that in the sign of Taurus. Now, in Libra, she is our urge to interact and join with others in love and or relationships. So she is like the way that we communicate or relate to others, whether that be in a whatever kind of relationship it is. So Venus rules the female sex organs, feminine blood flow, the throat, kidneys, and the body's glands. So when skillfully expressed, there's harmony, grace, beauty, and very artistic. So you're very creative and you feel harmony in things when you are skillfully expressed in Venus. When unskillfully expressed, maybe vain, lazy, over sensual, or self-indulgent. So now over to the bottom left, you'll see, let me make sure this is on the screen. Yeah, it is. Okay. My capacity to attract people and things that I love and value. I harmonize, the goddess of love and beauty. And when you're looking for her on your chart, that is the symbol of Venus. Now, she is in a sign roughly every 23 to 60 days and never more than 2 signs away from the sun. Also, probably because those are the 2 that are closest to the sun. And she is in control of like the senses. That's why they say like overly sensual. Smell, here. That's probably why, like the lap of luxury, or the things that we see and smell and hear and taste. That's why she would control all that. So my Venus in my chart, or is in my sign of, and I'm just going to keep my regular thing up this time, but I'm going to refer back to you. So my Venus this time is in Scorpio in my 5th house. So is in the sign of Scorpio, which represents how I relate to others and express my visual sensibility. I best attract people and the things that I love by fulfilling. So now we're going to go back to the signs, and we're going to look for Scorpio. And so Scorpio is feminine. It's a fixed sign. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and corresponds to the 8th house. They are known to be mysterious, magnetic, powerful, emotional, intense, regenerating, transforming, cathartic, giving birth, healing, rewiring, or renewing, kind of like rewiring, musical, complex, transformative, into the occult and hidden things, deep and psychological things. So we're going to leave it at that for a second. So I best attract people and the things that I love by fulfilling exactly my need to be involved in those kind of things, like the secret things. That's why I'm always so drawn to anything that's hidden, conspiracy theories, you name it. I mean, granted, I do have a lot of Virgo, and Gemini is my rising. So I'm very thoughtful. I think about everything before I actually, I research before I say, oh yeah, I definitely believe that. But, well, most things. Depends on how outlandish it is. So when skillfully expressed, I interact with, and these are some of the good signs. So I interact with, let's say, a healing or a renewing, or maybe a musical, because I love to. My kids say I have like singing Tourette's, because every time somebody would say something, a word, I would start associating it with the song and start singing a song or what have you. So those are like in a powerful and or emotional. So when skillfully expressed, I interact with like emotion and magnetism when seeking relationships with others, right? Or look for the hidden things that I need to figure out about people. That too. So when unskillfully expressed, I might interact with, let's say, some of the bad signs or negative signs of Scorpio are power hungry, destructive, violent, sarcastic, maybe, death oriented, no, obsessive, well, maybe, because I mean, I do think about, the other side. So excessive, secretive, revengeful, cruel, jealous, lustful. Well, maybe more so in my younger years, but so when seeking relationships with others. So maybe you could want somebody more because you think somebody else wants them. So there's like a jealous streak, or if somebody's trying to keep something from you, or like there's something hidden that you've got to figure out. There's deception. So it keeps you in that. You know what I mean? So that's when it's unskillfully expressed. So my Venus element, because it is in the sign of Scorpio, which is a water element, is like deep emotional bonding, feelings, and sentiment. So when I connect with somebody, and this is so friggin' true. Anybody that knows me personally knows that I don't like the shallow stuff. I like going deep. I like talking about your dreams and what drives you and the things that are your passions. And so, yeah, the deep stuff, the things that make you, you, and make you tick and all that. So my Venus is in the, what did I say? The 5th house of, so then we go to the houses again. The 5th house is like a fun and create. Oh, yeah. So that's good. That's a great placement. So yeah, and Scorpio, so creativity and self-expression, romance. The fifth house is all about the fun side of you, the things that you do for play. When the work is complete, this is the charming, creative, delightful side of you, where your interests, playmates, and hobbies can be found. This is the house of joy, and it can also be the house of speculation and gambling. Oh my gosh. Do you see how like perfect that is? For me, knowing anything about me, that I love to like dig deeper into things that I'm interested in, and I like being creative and expressing myself. So that's perfect that it's in the fifth house when I have fun. Yeah. So there you go, guys. What do we got here? How much time we got? 20 minutes. So, you know what? Down below, after you watch this, if you want to, just tell me where it is in your chart, where either of these are, and I can give you a little bit of help if you need a little bit of help. Or email me personally and let me know where these two sit in your charts, and I can maybe help you a little bit with that. And that goes with any of these things. If you ever want to email me because you don't understand one of these things, that's why I'm doing this. So if you don't understand that I'm not doing it the right way, so please email me. That's more private for you. So please email me rather than leaving a comment. You guys have my email address. And, let me know how this is going for you. Are you keeping a notebook? Did you get a 3-ring binder? I love mine. I love being able to easily, which I can just take this down really quick. I love being able to easily just refer to my stuff really quickly and understanding how the chart works. I hope that you guys are now, if you didn't already know, how to do, how to find different things on your charts now. And as we go through the planets, it becomes more clear and how that like translates in yours. Now I am using the Real Sky chart for mine. However, it would still be the same whether it was Western or not. So it doesn't really matter. It's still the same structure. Actually, that structure is like Western structure. The only thing that's different in the Real Sky is just that it depicts what's really going on in the sky instead of a fixed system, which is tropical, which is Western. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And we are getting out of here in like less than 23 minutes. And I am sending you love and light. Thank you.